Hi Gemini, welcome to your June 2018 forecast. This month your reading will be divided into two portions. As always, I have written something in the beginning about your astrology chart, and the next portion is about your tarot reading. First of all, let me tell you happy birthday, many blessings, many wishes towards you. I hope for you to see lots of success in your life and to achieve many goals of greatness. I know that our president is currently a Gemini right now, so I'm wishing and hoping the best for lots of Geminis in the world, because knowing who our president is, he's certainly an important person in our life right now. And I'm sure that you as well, Gemini, are tackling a lot as you go through this life process. As we left the season of Taurus, so we're going to go into the season of Gemini. The season of Gemini is always on your birthday, Gemini, and that is from May 21st till June 21st. As we enter this season, it is ruled by Mercury, which is the sign of communication, and mixed with Gemini would be the sign of duality. We can find a duality in ourselves as well as others, as it causes us to want to increase our communication. We can feel the need to be more social, talkative, and whimsical, but remember, you can feel also indecisive and even nosy at times. This is the time you feel the need to strengthen your communication with active listening. This is where you practice your mirroring skills. And remember, it is really important that you play back what someone has said, especially if it's about an important matter. So if someone is talking to you and they're telling you that they're discussing something very important to them, make sure that you count that in, especially if you feel like this person is important for you. Because if you're listening, if you're truly listening, you're stopping to completely listen to what that person is saying and actually playing it back with your choice of words as you let that person know that they are being heard. And even if you're not agreeing with what they're saying, playing something back and letting someone know that they are being understood does help you a lot. I have learned that there's a three-step process to problem solving, and this will actually help you. This is after you have actively listened and played back what a person has said. So the three steps are empathize, reassure, and resolve. So the first part, after a person is done speaking, it is best to listen and then let them finish. When the person is done complaining, repeat back what you have heard and empathize. If you see a frustration, take yourself into that point where you can fully immerse yourself in another person's shoes with no judgment. Saying things like, I understand that what you went through was a lot of pain. Wow, you do so much. Saying things like, I seen that you went through a lot of pain can really help heal a person. You know, it doesn't mean that you have to agree with them, but just empathizing can really heal someone, Gemini. And my personal favorite one is, I know, right? You know, when I'm complaining about something and someone is saying, oh, I know, right? And you're not just sitting there and in deep thought about it. It's just a quick, reaffirming how someone is feeling and not going over it and over it. Just making a person feel like they're just being heard, and just saying, I know, right? Could really help. You don't have to stay like a Debbie Downer with them, but just, making themselves feel heard could really be helpful to them, Gemini. Because at that point you realize it's not about being right or wrong. See, feelings are just sensors, like light sensors in a car saying that your engine your engine light is on. You're just confirming that the engine is broken and it needs repair. You can't just get mad at your car whenever you need a oil change. Can you? Okay, so just acknowledge nothing is personal. Even your own body needs to go to the doctor at times. You can't be mad at it when you have to nurture it. You can't be mad at anything. if you haven't been nurturing it. So remember to, water whatever needs to be watered so that way it works in your exact way that it needs to work. Number 2, reassure. Reassure the person that you care for that you are in this together actually. Verbally, even telling them that you are in this together. Even if actuality this is something that you wish from them. When you say we are in this together, you will find someone else that is in this together with you as well. Because mirroring plays a big part. Reassuring a person means you have the understanding of how another person's issues are. When you realize the more alliance you have, the more others work the same for you. You will start realizing that you can affect your own happiness. There will be a cause and effect. And are you willing to see compromises for the best? Are you being compassionate enough to reassure someone? And the third step, which is the final step, and that's to resolve. By showing others that you are sensitive and strong enough to make magic happen, the final step automatically comes into play with much less effort than before. Processing the first 2 steps, empathizing and reassuring, allows the third final step to take in its own form naturally. This all comes from your own mind, your own heart, your own spirit, your own joy, and positively mapping yourself into a state that you want to be in, Gemini. When there's a lack of positive communication, meaning no listening, no compromises, no security, no judgment, blame, negativity, and you find yourself naturally needing loopholes, you find yourself being weaker as a result. As a human being, when your needs are not met, even just by a natural way of communication, it can make a person feel like they need to scavenger to satisfy their own hunger. In that sense, we become animals when we go into starvation. Starvation can be a form of lack of air, food, water, sex, sleep, homeostasis, meaning fluctuation and not being balanced, to the point that it can even cause death. Excretion, whether it's your feelings you need to purge or you need to excrete something you've always wanted to get rid of. But most people just need to talk to others to find out how to problem solve. And a lot of that time, people are just not intuitive. They're not aware of that direction and the direction that you want yourself. You need to know that setting your own GPS will need to be set to a higher frequency. Because one false move doesn't just affect you, it affects your family as well, your children, your stability, your finance, and other things that are important to you. There can be a negative influence from many different facets in your life, and sometimes it's not just people, but music, environment, and your feeling of lack. Satisfying the hunger from loopholes can mean talking to others about internal issues, the parties that are outside of the relationship that can cause conflicts, family, friends, etc. Going to others for solution rather than the person you have issues with. A lot of that can mean sometimes the answer is just compromise. Turning your feelings off with drugs and alcohol using forms of numbing your feelings will block the intuitive nudges your body has been trying to show you. There is a reason why your stomach feels funny when you don't feel good about someone. There are sensors, and the more we block ourselves, it becomes more like a callus to heal a broken heart. Finding different sexual partners or other new family members to replace old wounds. Distracting yourself in other ways that you don't have to feel pain. Like going to, social distractions, religious distractions, overeating, immersing oneself into work can serve as a distraction too. You will understand that distractions have their own time and place. This is just a temporary time of suspension. The question is, how long do you want to sit in it? When it comes to Gemini, you have an insatiable thirst for knowledge, especially in the communication department. You are a breeze of insight into being exciting. And you are about to accept and allow others to feel that it's okay to accept what it is that it is. When it comes to love and relationships, you have a sense of a bird of a feather flock together. The idea of having a combination of a dynamic duo, or even a group, a collaboration of collective ideas. As you go through this month, think about the next group of relationships and friendships you want to regroup with. Will they be a positive force? Now, this is up to you. This is a time when others can come together and have a chance to talk, to open up the Pandora box and see what we are willing to pull out and lock up. When it comes to love, Venus is in Gemini from May 14th to June 9th, feeling loving, poetic, and romantic. Venus also influences the feelings and emotions. Venus is said to be the goddess of beauty, love, marriage, and relationship. Gemini has the insatiable thirst for knowledge and communication, so this will have a lot to do with how you feel about your own relationships. There's a new moon in Gemini on June 13th, and it's also called the Lucky Stars Day. So lucky you, Gemini. The June 2018 new moon gives good fortune to finding protection to yourself and loved ones. It predicts good fortune to long-lasting happiness and being well known. A new moon is a valuable time to set new goals, so it is an especially suitable time to start a new project. This is an indicator that will enhance your business. You will want to surround yourself with favorite people, luxuries, pleasures, clothes, entertainment, and much more. The full moon on Thursday, June 28th, 2018 is at Capricorn. Also during this time, Saturn will retrograde. Saturn is the ruler and the limiter. Making rules and structures. Capricorn represents through hard work, perseverance, you will find the success. But not only will you find the success, it will be long-lasting, with long-lasting results. The June 2018 full moon gives you the initiative and the resourcefulness, meaning that you will be restructured in a way that works for you, especially after last month when the full moon was highlighted in the truth. During the next 2 weeks, you are more likely to feel more serious than usual and experience sadness, guilt, feel restriction, or inhibition. However, you will be severely tested to make sure that you get what you truly want. During this time, you will feel a positive push for your life and a willingness to break free. What are you choosing to walk away from, Gemini? These positive factors are not as strong as Saturn retrograde, so you will have to work as hard to make the changes in your life for what you want and need. There may be a sense of going backwards in a way we structure to fix things as we move forward. And this duration started from April 17th. It will last until September 6th. September will be a portal of major change, which will be whichever way that you decide to start making changes. The changes that you had made in April, whatever that was in April, whatever decision that you had made in your life, those seeds that you had planted will develop around, end of September, carrying out through October. And this feeling of moving backwards will stop on September 6th. So this is just the time to reconstruct your life. So if you feel like you've been moving backwards, don't worry too much. This is just the time for repairing things as you go. The Gemini season teaches us to accept the good and the bad and ask you to see the Pandora box in front of you. Realize what you're willing to sacrifice for, but unless you know the truth, and knowing the truth means allowing others to be vulnerable, to know that there can be always a solution if that is the position you want for yourself. When you sacrifice for someone, is it a true mirror that will sacrifice for you? You must understand, to have someone like this, you must also open up in a very vulnerable way. An accepted, nurtured way through the healing of communication with compassion, empathy, and resolution. Now understand that if you are in a position of savior, you will mirror a partner just that way, however, in a different direction. Remember how I said one is salt and the other one is pepper. Accepting beauty in difference, understanding what your intention is. If you are in need, you will find others more that way. The reason for you meeting several types of people is for you to understand the lesson in life, to heal, to learn unconditional love, and to learn what cycles are causing changes and challenges. Once you are secure in your own energy in a much more positive way, you will only project what is more positive if you consistently feed it that water. So, if you feel like this reading is really resonating with you, Gemini, and you feel like you really need to contact me, remember, you can always contact me at donatellaempressofswords@gmail.com. And also, if you're interested in different types of private readings or personal readings, just please make sure that you email me again at donatellaempressofswords@gmail.com. And in the subject line, make sure to write request for menu of services. You can write anything in the email as far as issues you feel or concerns that you have. I will read them and send you the different types of services that I can then provide for you. I've also wrote a little bit of a description in the About Me if you want to go ahead and read that. I will also leave my email on the bottom of this description if you would like to email me too. But now we're going to go ahead and start doing your reading, Gemini. And as I start doing this reading, there is a feeling of lack when it comes to starting or cultivating a business. You know, there's something that you want to develop. There's something that you want to do that is different. It's different in the sense of maybe not others agree. And this is something to do with economic. There's right now what's crossing it is the two ways of decision. So this is going to be highly emphasized this month. You know, you really looking at both positive and negative of both sides of directions of things. And on your front mind right now, what is really concerning you very much so is being stuck in a position where you're at prisoner, where you are under someone else's law. You are chained to them. You're not free from them. At a level of addiction almost, to where a need of survival. This feeling of fear, Gemini, is truly, truly, truly paralyzing you at this time. That negative way of thinking will devour you. So make sure that you get a lot of control of it, okay? In the distant past, you realize that what you had been going through was a mirage. You're learning that as you move through this process of time, that if you're not learning and accepting truth, it will take strength from you. And that's exactly what ended up happening in the recent past. Maybe there was things that you were not really looking at. Maybe there was communication that you were not really having. Maybe you weren't looking at reality in a way that you had to look at it. Maybe you were in a sense of dream phase. Maybe you had an idea that life was in a different phase. But you being in that mirage caused you to lose the strength that you needed to have, and that is what took you to the recent past. So there's a distant past of having this effect of someone pulling the wool over your eyes, or not communicate, or you not allowing yourself to communicate in a way that was truthful with them at a level of peace and harmony. And now you're learning that having a level of peace and harmony can actually help you. Learning to be vulnerable is actually helping you. So you're going through that process of energy of making those changes for yourself. But you're also learning that at the middle of the month, not moving forward is going to have you swinging back and forth, swinging back and forth. And this is something that you need to be more aware of the beauty in the aspects of what is negative and positive. So if you allow fear to hinder you, I don't see you moving. I don't see you carrying anything. You know, it's just going to be a lot of talk with no moving, and you will find yourself trapped, because I have the Chariot in reverse, and meaning that this is the time that we should be going, this is the time that we should be moving. However, these negative thoughts are restricting you in a way of moving forward, and it could be the mirage of the past. But what you need to understand is that you have the gift of gab, and through your vocal cords, through the communication and allowing others to be communicative and being truthful, like being so truthful to the core, where you're actually showing vulnerability and sensitivity, you'll be able to carry yourself across the water. But make sure that, you know, you are careful with the ones that you are able to be careful with. You know, you are sacrificing with the ones that you are able to be sacrificing with. You know, put your alliance into the people that need to be aligned with you. There could be some judgments that are crossing in your head. These judgments can hinder you from building the alliances that you need, because you're going to need a lot of alliances to carry you through the next project. And if you're just concentrating on fear and lack and doing something that will cause other people the same, you're only going to be limiting yourself. It's when you understand that you're building an alliance, you could get yourself out of this hangman position. And that's where I found you at the end, at the middle of the month. When you find yourself there, don't be surprised if this is your position, okay? Because that's the card that I have following right after, and it's the Nine of Swords. It's thinking a lot. It's staying up at night, really thinking about what you've done, the choices that you made, the life that you've had, the results of where you're getting at now. It's going into that cycle. But what I want to tell you is that after the end of the month, after the middle of the month, excuse me, you will receive an emotional cup of love, okay? And you need to understand that when you receive this love and when you go through this fear, the person that is picking you up through this fear, the person that is offering you this love, could actually offer something very valuable for you. But what I want you to remember is that, Gemini, whatever you project, you know, whether you're yelling, whether you're screaming, whether you're feeling negative, whether you're saying something that is negative, or if you're showing any negativity or you're feeling any negativity, this will project in a way that will affect you on the outside. So as you go through this month, you find yourself thinking a lot, and you're noticing that it's not allowing any movement. And when you notice that it's not allowing any movement, and when you see how stuck you are, and you show yourself how much pain this does cause you, it will make you really realize how much love you need to give out there. And when that love is being given out, that love is also being received. The final card that I have is the King of Cups. So you or someone else is offering lots of heartfelt love, like in the king level, where it's protected, it's guided, it's respected, it's loyal, it's ultimately everything that you need emotionally. And it's been missing out of your life for a very long time. You haven't felt this kind of emotional love in a very, very long time. And I want to take you through this process so I could show you that through the beauty of all this, as you walk to the end of the month, and it may feel like you're probably crawling out of that net, that rope that tied you. As you remember, what choices cause what, you're going to realize that love was actually ultimately the ultimate answer. There was no other thing that could really help you more than love. When you're providing love in any way, as far as a friendship, it's giving you back friendship. When you're giving it as a lover, you're getting it back as a lover. And Gemini, you should understand this more than anyone, that you boomerang back to yourself all the time. But the thing is that you can have someone boomerang back to you as well. And that's realizing the beauty in them. That's realizing and accepting the love. That's being able to put the fear down, put the addiction down. Because the frontal card that I got was the Devil card, and there's a lot of fear. Okay, many of you could be suffering from addiction, Gemini, whether it's drugs or alcohol, or feeling the fear of needing something so bad. And what I want you to remember is that when you let that devil go, whatever that devil is, and you actually remember love and kindness and God and putting dwelling away, and actually remember forgiveness and choosing forgiveness, choosing healing, choosing love, choosing loyalty, choosing a better path the next time around for everyone. everyone, and learning the lessons and just accepting it for what it is, and just truly seeing it for the beauty that it is. You'll see yourself really soaring to such a high place in your life you've never experienced before. So this is my beautiful gift to you, Gemini, as you go through your birthday month. I want you to feel the love and the joy, and I want you to really feel celebrated for the person that you are. And during this month, it's the time of celebrations. That's why there's a lot of weddings and stuff during this time. There's a reason for all this. You're a celebrated person, and you know, it should go back to that feeling of you feeling celebrated to be who you truly authentically are. And it's when you're finally healing from the aches and pains and the wound, and you finally enjoy the pleasures of love, and you allow yourself to dive truly into it, like genuinely into like a really give and take relationship. It's then you're gonna really find yourself being joyous again. You're gonna really find yourself freeing yourself from whatever negativity that was attached to you in the past. So remember, find your joy, find your love, find your adventure, find your truth. You know, find your truth. I love you guys. God bless. And remember, take care of yourself first, and everything else will answer itself. I'll see you guys again at the end of the month, Gemini. Enjoy.